Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Let me tell you this, my advice is like a gist. I might be a great lyricist, but how you frame it is what will bring you bliss.
Yep. So, in my blogging since 2008, one of my one of one of the one of the should I say kind of struggle is deciding when is the time I'm going to post my article or my content. Am I going to I'm speaking on like people who's using the medium of writing. Because in video I'm just kind of starting like this. I'm posting a video, but just like that kind of short films. And to music too, of course. In music, you are going to be going to organize it, edit it before you post it. Although my style is like I'm not really going so sophisticated when it comes to music. But anyway, this kind of different topic, and it will be focused much in music. And what I want to share right now is probably generally, mm, are you going for freestyle or you're going to that sophisticated deep editing of your content? I would say lean much lean more on freestyle, because for me this is what works for me. Okay, I'm not sharing a advice here that this is the way. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you, sharing to you what works for me. And personally, what I can say, the strength of my blog or being a blogger is that longevity. Like, I'm doing this since 2008. If you're looking for viral, a blog or post, being a viral blogger, probably I'm not that. Although I will going to say something about being viral, because when blogging is like kind of starting back in the day, I can actually, people who are in a blogging world, they see that what happening these days. Many people who are a blogger back then see that this is what gonna happen. So on that point, I decided that no, I'm not going for that. I'm not saying this like kind of um, saying my excuses why I'm not that viral now, unlike many bloggers back then. But for real, that's the reason I kind of prepared not. And I'm going to share that. I'm just saying that my point is, if you're looking for longevity, probably you will learn something from me. And going back to the topic, how are you going, for me, if you're going to post something, are you going for this organized, edited, like clean content, especially in writing? Like, are you going to read your article like this meant like 3 times? Are you going to read it? Are you going to check the grammar? Of course, you will going to check the spelling, the flow, and are you going to let other read it first before you finally publish it in your blog site? I didn't do that, like letting other read first before I posted it or published it. Of course, I read the blog, like not that 5 times, no, maybe 3 times, just to make sure that I'm delivering the point that I want to share. And of course, the spelling. And if you're going to check my blog, like you can see there that there are probably some wrong spelling because for me, like blogging is not like being a professional writer in a magazine or newspaper. Sometimes, personally, me, I enjoy sometimes if I read some blog that uh, you can feel that they construct the article unedited, or maybe they edited because while they're typing it, but you can feel that, you know because you can feel that that's their emotion, that's what they captured, that's a captured emotion in that moment, or that's what they kind of contemplating, and they put it in a paper or in a word processor and posted it. I'm not saying that intend errors. I'm just saying that don't be so curious to how it going to be looks like, the spelling or the flow of your, I mean, how can I going to say this? Sometimes if you write something academically, it might like looks like wrong or not right, but if you're going to read it, that's the composition of words that is in your heart. And when you read that, that's the kind of message that you want to say, and that's what connected to you and have an effect to you, and you feel the message of it. And that message gives you that great impact. That great impact might be kind of inspiring, emotional, and that impact is so beautiful. The effect to you is so beautiful that you believe that other people will will connect from it, and you are expecting or intending that they will going to benefit from it like you do. So freestyle, for me, I lean more on that. Maybe not all people or not many people will connect it, but to some people that, in that unique situation, but because the kind of thing, you can only connect to people who've been in that, especially if the situation is so unique, so rare. And when someone connect to that, especially if they are a content creator too, they are going to be inspired from that, and they're going to create their own content that is inspired to that, and probably they're going to make a content that a little bit, I'm not saying it improved, not because what you did is bad, but they make another content that align a little bit from they what situation they are after they consume your content. So if you are like bittersweet love, the the message of your content that you share is about that. That's the gist of it. And someone who are in that same situation if you are, they get inspired to that, and then they're going to create some content that something like that. So in the art world, personally, the way I observed it, that's how it goes. Artist, there is that uh, popular person who is in the art world to say that artists are a good thief, something like that. But maybe he says that in a satirical way because we are artists is like they make their crap because the source of their energy is because they are being inspired by something. Mostly part of that, maybe not mostly, is that they see other creator or artists that they're making some stuff that kind of identical to what they're doing. The editing part will improve eventually. Of course, if you study about it and if you are keep doing content, you will going to observe on yourself that okay, I must kind of do this, do that, and time will come that you will lean more on editing because you enjoy editing, and then eventually you will realize that I don't want much in editing because the freestyle, because in freestyle you become more there's more natural on it. So eventually you're going to go to the middle to balance, and balance is subjective. Like, it's an ongoing process. You cannot say that okay, now I'm balanced, I'm balanced probably at that point, but it's a work in progress. Probably the definition of your balance today is a little bit different from the past, but you never know what will be your definition in the future. Some people they want more on freestyle, less editing. Some people like they just want to catch the gist of freestyle, and to some people they want to experiment it. So editing is like not really, because sometimes the problem in editing is you're trying to fake it, and you're trying to force to be the content to be something that it is not. you know Probably you recorded or you write something that is kind of emotional or sad. Now you're trying to use some words or some effects there to become more funny. It might work too, but I'm not saying that's wrong, because in art, really, there's nothing wrong in art. That's the pros and cons of it. But it depends to person taste and intention. So if some people just they want to make a awkward content, that might work. But for me, my purpose in making or doing a content is that I want to make it authentic and enthusiastic. So editing tool for me is I just want to kind of cleaning it up. Like in photography, I don't really use much filter, not unless if I want some sort of effects like black and white, or I want to be what do you call this kind of old faded photo. So I will use that kind of filter, but I'm not using filter to have a like perfect skin tone. I'm not doing that. Just to enhance the message that is already there, not to kind of bend the message, which is not what the content is. If you get what I mean. In photography, for example, if the photo is like kind of sad or emotional, you cannot just use some colors there to make it more joyful. Although sometimes that is possible, but again, for me, I'm just using editing or tools to enhance, not alter or to exaggerate it, but enhance a little bit, you know. So that's the answer there. If you're going to decide how are you going, what kind of process you're going to use when you uh, how do you call this, like after you make a content, you write something, how are you going to process it? If are you going more on editing, are you going to put much attention on making it perfect? There's no problem with that. But again, for me, I'm not in perfection. I'm on more on real. Okay, I write this like this. This make impacts to me, and this what I believe. If I send it out to cyber world, someone will get it. Especially those people who are in the same situation where I am. So since 2008, I'm more on freestyle, and I just use editing just to enhance the content. There you go. That works for me. I hope it works for you too. If not, you know, at least you learned something. Thank you, and catch you later.